Good afternoon, Terence. How you doing, sir? You good?
I'm good, man. You?
I'm blessed, my brother. Always in always. Listen, you're the first videographer that I've interviewed since I've been at The Voice in this capacity, in this present capacity. And the reason I've done that is because I think I met you in a sporting capacity, and I think your growth has been fantastic. Just you're gonna outline some of the roles that you've kind of occupied and executed in the last couple of years. But you're at Sheffield United now, producing what I consider to be some of the best in-house content for a Premier League club, bar none. I don't think there's too many people that do it better than you. So that's real talk. Do you know what I mean? And I know you've only been at Sheffield United for a season and you've just negotiated a new deal. But what I wanted to ask you before we go into the journey is it must be so different doing games now compared to last season when you had so much to shoot. So let's start with that. How's the post-pandemic or post-lockdown season, post-lockdown football? How's that changed for you as a videographer on match day?
You know, I think for everybody I think anybody that works in anything really, it's a big shock to your system, innit? Like even yourself, you're having to go from being able to, normally we could meet up or I could drive to London or when you're in Sheffield, but now we're having to do it over Zoom. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot to deal with, like players, like everybody involved. It's a lot, but for me as a creative, I'm not even gonna lie, it's been difficult because being trapped in the same environment, being stuck in the house, or I go to sleep there, I wake up, I got to deal with the kids, family stuff, partner, like all them natural stresses. Then she's got to go to work, so then I'm having to juggle cooking for the kids and trying to think of something creative as well at the same time, and it is difficult. It started off all right, but then what I've noticed coming back post-pandemic, my head has just been, like there's just been nothing. You've had to be on 24/7 for so long. So I've had a bit of time off, to be honest. Like I've not been there for a bit just to let my head like settle and that. But it's weird, man. It is weird. No fans there normally. Like that's what I like. Even the banter from the away fans and that, and you're there with your uniform and that, and they're like, wait. Like it's all part of the fun, innit? Like you don't know who's gonna score. Like the fans are ooh, boo, this, that. Like the atmosphere. It's weird, man. It's just you can hear the managers, the trainers, the coaches, stuff. You can hear everything. It's weird.
I first met you on a job for, I think you was on a job for yourself as an independent videographer, but then you got enveloped into the whole Pox and Sports ITV gig with...
I was at Seconds Out first.
Oh, was you at Seconds Out first? Okay, right. Okay, I didn't even know that. I just assumed you was doing your own thing independently. So talk about that, because you've gone from boxing to football, but it's all you behind the camera shooting, and you do it a little bit different to how most people do. Talk about your growth in that industry.
So prior to that, I was rapping and doing stuff like that. So me getting into videos was just because I got fed up of waiting for other videographers to do my videos. That was literally it. But then after a bit, because I didn't go to university or nothing, so after doing something for so long, you start getting good at it, don't you? So I've then ended up linking up with Adam Etches, who was like on his rise at the time. So I was doing bits with him. He was managed by Richard Poxon. So that was kind of my first thing doing it independently. But then obviously when he lost against, what's his name, Kamitsky or whatever his name was, it kind of went quiet for a bit. Then one day, Seconds Out needed somebody to film for Anthony Joshua. He was about to fight Brazil, and they had a private press conference, Sheffield, Peace Gardens. He phoned Richard, anybody in Sheffield. Obviously, Richard knew me. So I went and did the thing. William Hill and that were there. They were like, yo, this kid's different, man. We wanna run with him. So I ended up getting a little deal with Seconds Out for a bit. So yeah, man, that was my footstep into the, getting into the sports world. Coming from
that's a big footstep in. Anthony Joshua, that's like cream of the crop, top marquee name, international gravitas. You must have been quite excited when you got that call.
Nah, blood, I didn't know he was. I'm not even lying, I didn't know he was.
You didn't know Anthony Joshua?
Bro, all I knew is at this time
Crazy.
I was in ends every day. I didn't do Twitter and YouTube and like I was just in a box room in my studio just creating. I was isolated from the
So you
world.
wasn't into sport at all at that point?
No, I like sport, but I was just casual. So if I watched boxing, it was just watch the technique of boxing, or like it weren't, oh, I want to see, do you know what I mean? Mike Tyson days and that were done for me. So from that, I didn't know who nobody was. So Anthony Joshua was anybody to me, but it worked out in my favor, innit? Because I worked breading.
Well, hell yeah.
I worked breading.
So when you're on that course, and that's probably what, you know, people look at as well. They were judging you from the quality of your work and not the quality of your interaction or you trying to be happy to be in the space. So after that Seconds Out gig done, you got involved with Poxon, and I know that they had that whole ITV deal, and Chris Eubank was a big focus of theirs and the whole Eubank family. And talk about that in terms of learning or getting back into the sport, as it were, and learning about who was who.
Bro, that was a jump up, bro. Because like I said, I don't know who anybody is at this point. So my conversation with Anthony Joshua was different because I was coming at him more as Mandem, more than as, do you know what I mean? Then Seconds Out threw me in the deep end and put me in when Josh Warrington was fighting in Lee's Rumble. So Poxon's brought me in for my talent, creativity. But I don't know nothing about boxing. And then I'm getting told to interview this man and do this and do that. I don't know what your past fights were. Do you know what I mean? So that learning experience for me, bro, there's nothing like being in the deep end. But true say, I like pressure and all of them things there. Like, it was all right, but it was hard, man, because you got like all these fights. I can't even remember the names, bro. I don't know nothing about the record and all of that. So I had to just kind of wing it. And the way for me was, I always had that creative style, you know, to be able to kind of make a documentary or a hype video or something that was engaging, you know what I mean? But yeah, to have that level of access to ITV and see how the game really works, man, that's invaluable.
I was going to say that must have contributed to your own sense of self-belief. It seems like you already had, you know, a lot of belief in yourself anyway. But in terms of being in the industry and, you know, making your own way, finding your own road, that must have been an invaluable experience for you. And was there a point where you looked around at everybody else and says, you know, I'm just as good as all of these guys, you know?
Yeah, it came, but that's always come from like Richard Poxon for me, man, has been like one of the best mentors I've ever had. Like he's been working on me before I even realized he was working on me, you know, in a positive way. So by the time I got to sit around the table, and then you've got head of ITV there, head of marketing, head of this person, my man's manager, this person, you know what I mean? It became so normal. Like Richard had made it normal to me that these are just normal people. And the way you do that over the years, like you tell me little stories like, oh, you think that person's that? Well, this is this, and this is the reality of this situation. That's that, and this is this. So by the time I got there, bro, it was nothing new to me. Like it was new to me, but nothing was a surprise, you know what I mean? Every tactic that was going to happen that Richard said happened, you know what I mean? So I knew how to navigate from early and who not to kiss ass with, and do you know what I mean? I was just very much me, and I think that's what people gravitate to. Do you know what I mean? I went breading like how everybody else was. You know what I mean?
You know, that's one of the things I noticed. I mean, I saw you at a few press conferences in the boxing world before. I think you started talking to my cameraman before you and I even started talking. I think it's just because camera operators always end up chatting and journalists always end up chatting. It's just one of those things. But I love the way you went about your business. You know, it's a very incestuous industry. Everyone wants to be friends with everybody, wants to know what you're doing, apart from me. But I saw you and how you were moving. And that's, you know, I'm impressed by actions, not words. I mean, you know, your endeavor and your end product is what I really want to see. You know, what does he produce? And when I saw some of your work, I thought, oh, this guy's a problem. You know, I thought to myself, this guy is definitely going to be around for a hot minute. So how did you? I know boxing ITV, it was a funny relationship, so that wasn't always going to be your main bread, so to speak. That was going to kind of be incremental. It's going to now and again, as and when it happens. So talk about like how you transitioned from that to finding regular work, because to me, and why I'm interviewing you, Terence, is because youngsters out there might be in your position where they love music, love what they're doing. or love whatever it is they're into, but don't have that academic background and want to pick up a camera and want to do what you're doing eventually. What I'm trying to show is the journey to get there. So once you've got to that point with Pox and Sports, ITV, you got all that experience under your belt, I guess the next thing is regular work. And then comes Sheffield United. So take me through that point.
Well, like I said, through the guidance of Richard, do you know what I mean? He was trying to show me that it's not about chasing the money. It's about perfecting your craft, and the money will chase you. And above anything else, having sheer belief in yourself. Because even what you do, like the work we're in, is very unique. People kill to be in our positions. Do you know what I mean? Sat in the press seats and, you know, eating this fine dining food. You know, when everything's open is normal. Do you know what I mean? We're rubbing with high profile people every day like it's normal. Do you know what I mean? And you have to realize it's not normal. Do you get what I mean? But so to these kids, I get why it looks like, oh, I can't wait. Hang on 2 seconds. All right. I get why to young people this looks out of reach. Coming from the ends, you got teachers saying, whatever you're dreaming, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is, the rule to the game is consistency, belief in yourself, drive, and consistency. You're gonna make it. Do you know what I mean? It's that's the law of anything. It don't matter what career you are in. You know, if you've got your belief in yourself, the drive to do it, and you're consistent with it, you're gonna make it. And I like to try and simplify it for these youth, man. It's not about all these crazy things, buying fancy equipment, like blowing your money on name brand this, that, and whatever, all this fake it till you make it malarkey, man. No, it's belief, drive, consistency. Them 3 things will get you far. Do you know what I mean?
So was it just a case of the Sheffield United job was put out there and you applied, or did someone else give you a helping hand?
Yeah, well, I think it might be a bit of both. And Richard again. So I've kind of said, because I was saying I was getting a bit tired of boxing, like, you know, the politics that can come in the sport. Anyway.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
And then it was getting a bit long that, like, you're gearing up for a show and then the show gets pulled, or somebody's got injured, or somebody, and it's just messing with your money too much, or you can't plan. And so I was talking to Richard, because Pox and Sports manages me as a freelancer as well. Like, what people don't realize, like, not many videographers brand themselves, but I branded myself as AJ would brand himself in. So Richard Poxon manages my deals, contracts, all of that type of stuff. So he's come one day and said, yo, Sheffield United's being promoted. Have you seen this on LinkedIn? They needed a videographer. But it was only 2 hours until the thing is shut. So I made this mad application, but I've done it as a PDF graphic. So I didn't do like texting things. I did a graphic with my resume and everything, and I just sent it in. They called me in for an interview, and then I was just honest that, like, it is in terms of finances, it will be a bit of a step down and all of that type of stuff. But I wanted to be closer to my kids. My partner was going through education at the time, and you know what I mean, I just needed to settle a bit, wanted a new challenge, and I wanted a position where I could grow into. So forget the now money, where can this go in 5 to 10 years time? I kind of explained that to them, and they liked it. They took a chance on me. They thought I was going to leave within 6 months or something because of my resume, but I stuck to my guns, man. It's paying off.
Listen, like I said, your content and your output, and that's just what I've been privy to. I'm not an ardent Sheffield United fan, so I don't see everything. But what I have seen following you on social and just, you know, like I said, I've seen some clips that they've put out, and I know that's your work in it. I could tell. Yeah, you're one of the best I've seen, and I've seen a lot of clubs invest in that particular area of in-house content. And I you know, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but a lot of it's not that great. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you're standing out in an area that, is quite prominent. I like you said, an area that kids would definitely want to be involved in. You took a step down for the money. So what are your ambitions, Terence? I don't want to do you out of a job here. I'm not sure Sheffield United know your position now. You're in, you signed the contract, you're good. But where would you like to take your art, your craft, your job?
It was the legacy. It's the legacy, man. It's the like I said, we believe drive and consistency. Anybody can make money in this game. Do you know what I mean? How many people do we know in this game that make money but nobody knows who they are? And it's not about being famous or anything like that. Like I said, it's about legacy. By the time I'm done with this game, I want to be able to say that I made a difference in how boxing media was done. I made a difference in how football was done. I made a difference in how creatives, approach their business. You know what I mean? 'Cause without us, a lot of these big names don't become big names. It's us that make them look cool. Do you know what I mean? And if you want to get technical, look at man like Spike Lee and Steven Spielberg and all. These are big directors. They're big in their field. You get what I mean? So for me, it's always legacy. Sheffield United presented a rare opportunity to do what you want. Freshly promoted club, media's videography, like it's all just getting really popular now. Do you know what I mean? Best opportunity. If I'd have gone to one of the big six, like I'd have probably been creatively restricted. I've got that much creative freedom at United. My manager knows me inside out. She knows how I tick. Do you know what I mean? If I need time off, she'll be turn your laptop off and go and do. You know what I mean? She knows how to keep me happy. So it's paved the way for me to create my own legacy in such ways. You know what I mean? That I think that's what's more important for me. Like my kids look at me and they know, like, yeah, man, dad's doing this legit. Do you know what I mean? So anything that I buy that's name brand or this and that, like it's not taking no drug money or nothing. It's, you know what I mean? The future, the legacy, the generational wealth for my kids and all of that type of stuff. There's no, like, if you see my son now, bro, he can already fly a drone. You know, he knows how to set up a camera. Like you could take him to a boxing show with you and watch him set up the tripod and microphones and everything like that. Do you get
How old is he?
It's 12 now, but he's been doing this for four years old, being on with things, you know what I mean? So it's like that, the legacy, bro. Legacy.
No, I fully take your point on that. I can only see bright things for you in the future. Where can people follow you and you know, stay up to date with what you're producing?
TDX Campbell on everything. TDX Campbell on everything. So in the minute I'm just working on my website and little couple brand things. I got some projects coming. I've just finished the draft of my book, so I've written a book about my journey and experiences.
That's brilliant. Well done, yeah. Well done.
Hints and tips and everything. So I'm getting that read over, make sure everything is like, you know, all okay with that. So 2021, I should be dropping that. But yeah, just TDX Campbell, everything. Just keep it simple for people.
And are you restricted? I mean, obviously you got a contract with SU, but are you restricted to just working with them? I've seen you do music videos and product shoots. What else can people hit you up for?
No, just anything. I've got no restrictions. You know what I mean? Like there's but there's just the respect there in it. So obviously I'm not gonna go and do videos with any rival clubs or.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's common sense to it, but there's no restrictions. So this I do with there's a lot of stuff I do that I don't share, like with players, and you know me, man. I'm not egotistical.
You're not. That's how I'm trying to get it at you, brother. You know what I mean? What else can people look at you and think, you know, apart from football, boxing, I know. So I'm trying to get you to.
I've done bits in boxing, stuff for watch companies, music videos for artists, consultations. So I do consultation for brands as well. So they want to know everybody wants to know how to get that street vibe into their thing now, innit? So I do a lot of consultation for people behind the scenes, podcasting. Like, yeah, I do a lot of moving and shaking. I just hold it down, man. Anything.
Would you get into movies or anything like that? Do you think your camera could take you in that direction?
No, I'm writing one now. Me and my friend we started filming a mini movie. So I want to start getting into them, you know, them film festivals and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Films and stuff are like a long process, you know what I mean? But I'm doing it all, the Netflix stuff, Amazon stuff. Like I want to get into a lot more of it. Like people don't know I've worked on a BAFTA nominated project before, innit? Released them a few years ago, BBC Two on Gang Life. That ended up getting I worked with the team and that project ended up getting BAFTA nominated. So I'm definitely gonna get more into that stuff. 100%.
All right. Well, wishing you all the best moving forward, Terence. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to bump into you here, there, and everywhere, even in a post-lockdown world or whatever the world looks like moving forward. You know what I mean? So enjoy it. One thing I want to, has anybody, apart from Richard Poxon, left on your journey, has anybody left an impression on you that's kind of contributed to your mindset and how you see things in terms of your work rate, especially?
Yeah, everybody see, I don't talk about it because I don't know, it's just for me, but even athletes like Anthony Joshua was very wise. Floyd Mayweather, Jesus, one time, and I was filming with him, and we're getting some angles, and he's ended up cussing his own camera team. Say, yo, guys are with me every day. This guy's never met me. You get what I mean? He see me running around, like kind of like you running around like a madman. He's pulled me aside. He says, like, give me some words of wisdom. Do you know what I mean? Management teams that come along with these athletes, some of the agents that work with the footballers will drop me some advice. You know what I mean? Because they say I'm just legit, like, and it's good to be in that position. Even Chris Wilder you know what I mean? I'm in a fortunate position, man. I feel blessed. Like, a lot of people along the way, man. ITV, the marketing teams, the head of this, that, and whatever. Like, because I don't judge anybody I see based on what I see on TV and articles. So when I have a conversation with Eddie Hearn, I know what I'm trying to get out of him. I like to know how this works because it's all a game, innit? Like, I want to know the real person. So Johnny Nelson, man, the amount of wisdom he's give me, do you know what I mean? Brendan Ingle, Jesus, man, like, how many people can say that they've managed to get wisdom from former undisputed champions, Brendan Ingles, big promoters? Like, it's a blessing, man.
All right, well, keep doing what you're doing, my brother, and I'm sure in a couple of years or whatever, I don't even know when you're gonna take another turn for the positive, but I'm sure we'll catch up and highlight the journey and keep feeding the youngsters that inspiration, because I think people need to see it to believe it, and now they can go and follow you and keep tabs on it. So more power to you.
Thing I would want to say to these not even just the young people, the elders as well, man. It's time to reconnect. Do you get what I mean? Because without guidance from the elders, these young people are going to carry on doing exactly what they do. And talking specifically to the Black community, man, like, I think it's time that we have more love and solidarity, more support for what each other are doing. You'll know as a Black man, like, the amount of hate that I've got over doing this when really I'm trying to open the door. Like, I'd encourage anybody to be looking at man like myself, yourself, and know that there's another way. You know what I mean? You don't have to be out here on road putting your life in danger or anything like that. There's lots of money to be made in a legitimate path. You don't have to have the normal 9 to 5. Just believe in yourself, man. Believe, have drive, be consistent, 100%.